Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phil, the Conquistadork. Let's talk about Gorogoa. Gorogoa is a puzzle game that came out in 2017. It was developed by Buried Signal and published by Annapurna Interactive, the same people who did Donut County the following year. Gorogoa is kind of a tough one. It is a puzzle game, very simply put. On its face, you act as a young man who is trying to stop some sort of monster that is rampaging its way through your town. And the way you have to do that is to collect 5 kind of sacred colored baubles throughout the town, and that will come together to protect you and your people. I guess. This is just me grasping at straws here because I'm not entirely sure what the specifics on that are. I don't know how right I am about the story. That's just what I picked up. The game isn't heavily narratively focused. It doesn't go in the usual fashion of storytelling where you have a narrator who says a long time ago, or a protagonist and you get their inner monologue and they say one day No, you don't get anything like that. You get some beautiful imagery and a lot of stuff that you just have to kind of pick up on your own. And that is pretty much how the entire story for Gorogoa goes. Yeah. That's how it tends to work. And I think that's kind of wonderful because Gorogoa is very mysterious. It's very strange. It has a lot of low context storytelling in it that you just pick up as you go. It isn't the sort of game like a Five Nights at Freddy's, for example, where it leaves a ton of little Easter eggs for you to figure out what's happening. I think to do that would be to kind of miss the point. Gorogoa is all about its aesthetic and its puzzles. And first things first, this game is a must-own for puzzle people, people who like playing puzzles, people who design puzzles, game designers, game players, anyone who's interested in puzzles, anyone who's heard of puzzles needs to play this. They are very out-of-the-box style puzzles. It requires a change in your perspective to be able to get them right, and it takes a minute. Sometimes you have to be patient, and you have to be open to again, thinking outside of the box, kind of literally, because most of this game takes place in 4 segments, kind of like comic book panels, and you have to move your world around, reshift the world, reshift the perspectives in order to get the solutions to these puzzles. It's fascinating, and even as a person who, I don't really design puzzles, but it was beautiful to play through the game and see how the designers came about what they made. The world is really beautiful, the colors are fantastic, the aesthetic is gorgeous. I recently read about how many people see aesthetic, the design of something, as a far more masculine ideal, and color as more of a feminine ideal. And if that's the case, then Gorogoa has a beautiful balance of both. Color is very important in this game. It's beautifully used, and but the style of the game as well, the craftsmanship of the art of the puzzles again, is fantastic as well. It's just a real treat to look at, to engage with, to interact with. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. This is the sort of game, it came out at the very end of 2017, and I remember a bunch of my friends, including Kevin the Archaeologist, getting on me about, you've got to play this game. It's a top 10 game of the year. I swear, it's just come out at a bad time. You got to play this game. And I never got around to it until recently. And wow, they were right. I'd have to go back and look at my old list of 2017 games to see if it would have made my top 10. I have a strong inkling that it might have. It is it's exactly the sort of thing that I go for. It has atmosphere. It has a real emotional quality behind what it does. It has this beautiful way of making you feel strong emotions without requiring you to buy into some sort of A plus B equals C style storyline. You don't need that. It's built for emotion. It's built for sensation. It is just a beautiful example of how a game can make you feel something without needing to use 1,000 words to do it. It's very admirable, and as a guy who writes and often uses 1,000 words where maybe 50 are all that's necessary, I can't help but be in awe of games like Gorogoa. Awe and maybe, yes, a little bit of jealousy. I highly recommend this one. I think the only downside to it is very short. Honestly, even with my sitting down, a couple of the puzzles took me longer than usual, and even with that, even with sitting down and really thinking through these puzzles, it still only took me about an hour and a half to beat, and I believe it's $10 when it's not on sale. Personally, between you and me, I find it worth that $10 just because of the craftsmanship that was put into this game. If you're, you know, a little more skint than I am, or if that's just not worth it to you, no matter what kind of a badass experience it is, wait for it to get on sale. It's very often on sale. In fact, I picked it up during the Halloween sale that Steam had when Kevin and I actually did on our podcast Pixel It. We did a Halloween episode and ended up just tearing through the Steam sale and buying up a bunch of games that we'd been meaning to play, and this one was one of the ones that I got, and I think I got it for a couple of bucks. So we've got a holiday sale going on now. Steam's always got something going on. There's no reason, if you're interested in puzzle games, there's no reason for you to not pick this one up, at least when a sale comes around. So Gorogoa, beautiful, incredibly well designed, incredibly well crafted. That's a great word for it. It is a crafted game. Absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend it. Go check it out.
Yes. I would not accuse him of being objectivist, because that assumes that he has that presupposes that presupposes that he understands things.
Right. I feel like every time I imagine Joe Rogan, I just see a wave of knowledge crashing over him, and then the wave pulling back, and he is somehow dry. He has to have everybody in the room. He wants everyone at the table, and he will gain nothing from the experience.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.